All right, everyone. Simply Bitcoin. We break down the news from Twitter, the Daily Fail, meme review, software releases, and the websites by plebes. Drop us a like, subscribe. Joining us today is very special guest. I think this is like one of the first memes anybody ever sees. He is the creator. I am talking about the Bitcoin roller coaster guy, and he's going to join us later on all the fun. But right now, we're going to go to the numbers. Let's do this. All right, at the time of this recording, the block height is 680,877. The Bitcoin price is 55,230. Chain rewrite days, 685. Total lightning capacity, 1,215.25. Bitcoin versus gold market cap, 9.01%. And the sats per dollar, 1,806. Nice to see them drop off from yesterday.
Man, it's liking it. I'm bored. We've been saying this for 2 months straight. We've been staying at these levels. Bitcoin, do something. But anyways, Phil, it's time for it.
The Daily Fail. All right, everyone. Today's Daily Fail is brought to us by Galactic Trader, or at Galactic_Trader. And yeah, we're talking about inflation here. So Costco paper towels, same price as the previous several times buying them, now with 20 fewer sheets. So yeah, goes on to show the, the sheet difference between the two and the inflation rate, right? Of what he's actually experiencing. And I got to say that this is something, I'm a child of the 80s. Chocolate bars were in fact bigger and they costed less. Chocolate bars used to cost approximately, when I was a kid, like 75 cents. I'm originally from Canada, so 75 cents Canadian. That's what it used to cost for a way bigger chocolate bar than today. Now you're paying over $1 and you're getting a smaller chocolate bar. So it's not just the chocolate bars. It's not just the paper towel. It's not just the toilet paper. This inflation creep is happening all around us. And you know what? That's the fail. The fail is that our cost of living is going up, and, people are just, there's a few of us that are recognizing it, but not enough.
I agree, man. And it's definitely unfortunate. And that's the scam, right? That's the scam. That's the Fed tells you, look, the inflation rate, it's only 2.6%.
2.6.
But other things are telling you otherwise, right? The price of gas is like 2x. Bitcoiners have been making joke about lumber. The price of lumber is just, I think it's up like 900%. Bro, go buy lumber. No, I'm just kidding. Only buy Bitcoin. But it just goes to show, dude, that like, it's such a scam. It's such a scam. The inflation rate is not 2%. And that's a great example of that. And dude, it's like, that isn't the only example. And they're sneaky about it because they don't make any type of announcements. The same packaging just gets getting a little bit smaller and a little bit smaller. So yeah, man. Anyways, I want to get our guest thoughts. Marcus, are you seeing what we're seeing?
I hodl lumber for sure. I mean, who doesn't? If you have lumber, you hold on to that, hold on tight, because it's crazy. Prices are out of control on everything. Lumber is through the roof for sure. I look at that. I mean, who doesn't look at lumber? I mean, I look at lumber.
Oh my God.
And I concur. I mean, you guys paying a nickel for a candy bar in the 80s. Now it's over $1. It's crazy. Yeah, I did the conversion from Canadian to US there. 75 cents.
I was going to say, I'm like, why are your chocolate bars so much cheaper?
Yeah, man, but it's a scam. It's a scam, and this is why Bitcoin. Anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily Meme Review.
All right, everybody, the meme for today sounds like it's brought to us by Shitcoiner, but anyways, a good meme at Crypto Graffiti. I have to give him the credit.
He's not a shitcoiner.
He's not a shitcoiner? Okay, that's
it's also
Graffiti's a Bitcoiner.
Cryptograffiti.
Oh,
that's how we initially
Graffiti.
wanted it to be pronounced, Cryptograffiti, but nobody pronounces it that way.
Okay, so Cryptograffiti, I apologize for calling you a shitcoiner. I just assumed, okay, because I saw crypto. Anyways, it's my bad. I'm sorry. Okay. Anyways, okay. So the meme, Phil, I didn't choose this one on purpose. Again, for some reason, the fail is connecting to the meme once again. Anyways, the Toblerone bar from 2012 and the 2022, the shrinkflation, right? They got to save the money. But hilarious, very good. And because it was so classic and simple, I'm going to give it a screwdriver. What about you, Phil?
It's a solid score. All right, you know what? Maybe I'm going over the top on this one, but I should have done. I should have went first, but it's okay. I am gonna go with my first node, the Energon cube.
Man,
this was my first node.
I always get screwed on these. Okay. Anyways, Marcus, what would you give that meme?
Yeah, I give it a tiny computer.
Oh, I love that. Nice.
This has to be renamed to Nico gets screwed in the meme review. Oh my god. Okay.
A screwdriver.
Excellent meme.
I liked that meme on Twitter because I follow cryptography and I liked that meme. So definitely,
cool.
Dude. It was a good meme, easy to understand, conveys the message, and a phenomenal score. Screwdriver, Phil's first Crypto Coke's case, and Marcus, of course, the mini computer. Anyways, Phil, it's time for
the Daily News, sponsored by
Crypto Cloaks.
All right, everybody, the news for today. Check this out. This is Christine Lagarde trying to explain that negative interest rates are okay. For anyone that doesn't know what negative interest rate is, before, when you used to keep your money in a bank, the bank would pay you money. Why? Because they're loaning that money out and they're making a profit out of it. But now, what they're trying to do is if you keep money in a bank, you actually have to pay the bank to keep your money there. And this is the head of European Central Bank, Christine Lagarde, responding to the criticism.
I completely appreciate that people who are saving are not satisfied with being charged the consequences of negative rate.
You see what she said? She stopped herself, charged, and then she changed the consequences of negative interest rate. Now, this is bullshit. Let me explain to you why this is bullshit. This is a post from the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, and this came out in 2019. Right? And it's trying to explain cashing in, how to make negative interest rate work. So you can see that there's an international coordination to do what? To get rid of cash. In a cashless society, there would be no bound on interest rates. Without cash, depositors would have to pay the negative interest. Look at the wording again. Depositors would have to pay the negative interest rate to keep their money with the bank, making consumption and investment more attractive, right? So again, these are bankers trying to manipulate you to spending your hard-earned money or your hard-earned cash in this case, right? And this is their plan. They want a cashless society, right? And with the cashless society, they have total control, and man, they could just, milk the tax cows or the tax cattle as much as possible. It's super scary, and this is exactly why we Bitcoin. Anyways, Phil?
Yeah, that I love her wording. Okay, so when you're in business, okay, there's a lot of people that use the term appreciate. Okay, and that is just a total that is a total bullshit term. Okay, like, oh, I need to appreciate this problem, or I need to appreciate this situation. That's a load of crap. Okay, when it comes to this is just complete garbage, right? She's just simply pandering, and essentially trying to hide the fact that these people are supposed to be in charge of money and they are completely incompetent. Okay, and our money has failed as a result of theirs and affiliate organizations' incompetence.
And they're trying to pass off that incompetence.
Oh yeah, to us.
To us, they're like, but it's your fault. And they're trying to convince you that it's okay that you have to pay money for someone else to hold your money so that they could make money off that money. Like, that's what they're trying to convince you. If you tell that to a 5-year-old, they'll say that's a scam. And they would be right. That's a scam. This is exactly why Bitcoin exists, man. It's the exit. You get the hell out of that. You don't have to deal with all that bullshit, right? Anyways, Marcus?
Yeah, I mean, is it incompetence really, or is that the plan all along? This, of course, from Europe, but in the United States, the United States federal government has been trying to slowly, essentially outlaw cash in the United States. Some people don't even know that if you go to the bank today and you deposit $10,000 in cash, they have to report that. The bank secretly, they're not allowed to tell you, they secretly report that to the federal government. Now, the thing that's really interesting about that is that when that law was passed was in the 1970s. And that's in the 1970s, it was set at $10,000. Well, in the 70s, you could buy a whole lot for $10,000.
It was the equivalent to 60 grand. The when they passed the law, the Banking Secrecy Act in 1971.
Right. And so
Such a
today
scam.
they never increased the value of how much you could deposit. So it's we're on that path too. We're all on that. And the IMF, I think it's just IMF'd, that's what that is.
Man, I love the Bitcoin roller coaster guy. Awesome. So moving on to the last piece of news. This made quite a splash yesterday, guys. Tesla's Bitcoin speculation helped boost profits by more than 100 million in Q1. Absolutely crazy. I think Elon kind of explains it in this kind of bout that he had with Dave Portnoy. So am I understanding this? To quote Dave Portnoy, of course. So am I understanding this correctly? Elon buys Bitcoin, then he pumps it, it goes up, then he dumps it and makes a fortune. Okay. And then Elon goes on to say, no, you do not. I have not sold any of my Bitcoin. Tesla sold 10% of its holdings, essentially to prove liquidity of Bitcoin as an alternative to holding cash on balance. And this part is really important, guys, because Tesla is essentially setting the stage for other public companies to kind of do the same thing. So do I believe that was the only reason that Tesla, sold 10% of their Bitcoin? No, I don't believe that. And Dan Darkpill did an excellent job at just kind of explaining why. Tesla reveals 101 million Bitcoin profit following its massive cryptocurrency investment. And then Elon Musk unlocks 11 billion in stock options awards as Tesla Q1 report meets targets. So Elon, nah. It wasn't to prove anything. It was to get $11 billion in cash. And I hope you're buying Bitcoin with those 11 billion, because that would be a baller move. Anyways, Phil?
Okay, so I know we've got a lot of Elon fanboys in Bitcoin, okay? We did the same type of, culture, and people love Tesla, and I get it. I totally get it. But, at the same time, what people may not want to accept, Elon is really good at understanding how to get free money for his projects, okay? And that's all he's doing, okay? I know that people don't want to hear it, but I don't really think that Elon is necessarily a fan of Bitcoin. I just don't think so. I get that he's bought a lot of Bitcoin, but I think that there's some of us who possibly have significantly less Bitcoin than him that are way bigger fans of Bitcoin and what it's going to do for society. I think he's just using it as which is perfectly fine as a tool for his business, which is his business.
I agree with that. 100%.
I just don't think everybody should be fanboying over him necessarily. That's all.
Yeah. I agree, dude. I agree, but it's fun to watch. It's fun to have a front row seat to all this. Anyways,
you know me with the grounding.
Yes, this is why it's Nico and Phil and Simply Bitcoin, because it would be a disaster if it was just Nico. Anyways,
or just Phil.
Anyways, Marcus.
Yeah, it's Elon and Tesla being involved with Bitcoin. It's just fun. Whatever Tesla decides to do with their Bitcoin, I don't think it affects Bitcoin, honestly. Bitcoin's worldwide, and it's really just fun. It's fun when they got on the coaster and, they threw a few off, to cash in some stuff. I think, Phil, you made a really good point about, he's in it for free money. I don't want to speculate as to Elon's actual motivations, but it's fun regardless.
It is definitely fun. It's definitely a ride, that's for sure. It's
entertaining, right?
Yes.
Anyways, Phil, there was a software release today. Why don't you tell everybody about it?
Software releases. All right, it looks like we've got Raspberry version 1.7.0 that was released, and the details to that are down below in the show notes.
Awesome. Thank you, Phil. All right, guys, that was our show. But before we go, I want to give a shout out to our awesome guest. Again, you can go follow him at Marcus Connor and NH. Again, he is the creator of the Bitcoin roller coaster guide, that awesome meme. And currently, right now, he's auctioning an art piece. Super cool. Marcus, why don't you tell everybody about it, where they can get it, where they can find more information about it?
Sure. Yeah. Well, the art piece is called Running Bitcoin. And we're doing the auction on scarce.city, which is just all Bitcoin auctions. And you can learn more on my website, which is bitcoincoaster.com. But yeah, it's a commemoration of Hal Finney, and who was right at using Bitcoin right at the very beginning. He tweeted "running Bitcoin" right at the very beginning, and so that is really what the sculpture is obviously inspired by. So so the auction is on Hal Finney's 65th birthday coming up May the 4th. It's a Tuesday, and 50% of the auction price will get donated to an ALS organization, since Hal Finney died from ALS.
Dude, that is freaking awesome. And Marcus, why don't you show everyone the art piece? It's right behind you, right?
Yes, it is. Here, let me
take a look.
Bring it a little closer. So I carved this. The base is maple wood that's partially carved and oiled. The body of him is hand carved. I cut it out and carved it, and then all the limbs are made from steel and a little bit of silver solder, and then painted. And
gorgeous.
So he's painted.
Dude, it looks incredible.
He's carrying a sign, and on his sign it says Hal 415. Hal Finney was a runner. He liked to do races, and after he was diagnosed with ALS, he ran some races, and the last race that he ran, that he was physically able to run, he wore the number 415. So that's what the number on the sign is. It also has some really small characters as well that represent the hash from the very first person-to-person Bitcoin transaction that ever took place. It was sent from Satoshi Nakamoto to Hal Finney, and it was 10 Bitcoins. And the first 8 characters of the hash from that transaction included the numbers 4, 1, and 5, the same as his. So the other 5 characters are incorporated around the 415 to give at least the first 8 characters of that first hash from that first transaction.
Dude, that is incredible. I'm speechless. It's so much deeper than I could ever imagine.
Amazing.
Incredible. Guys, of course, if you want to have a shot at winning this at an auction, I'm going to put the link down in the link description. And of course, Marcus's site, you could find out more about Marcus. But anyways, guys, if you enjoyed our show, you know what to do. Smash that like button. And of course, if you want to continue hearing the news from the Bitcoin bleep-plep perspective and the catastrophic fiat and shitcoin fails, definitely consider hitting that subscribe button. And we will see you tomorrow for another episode of Simply Bitcoin.